mission ignite. Every setback turn data, now my vision inside. Hear the chant in the distance growing louder with my level to level. Broken blocks from the battle, from the steps to ascend. Every scar from resistance is the mark of a friend. Motion 10 in my back, this ain't luck, this is trend. I'm prepared, I'm aware, now it's time to transcend. With the sun unlocked, dungeon cleared, new confidence stocked. Market might swing, but my mindset locked. I trade with intention, not fear or shock. Golden path glowing like a runway flight. Signals hit clean when your prep game tight. Every breakout feel like a skyward height. I glide past out like a Cape Feather Knight. Support got my back, resistance falls down. Trend in my favor as I run this town. Badge of discipline stitched on my crown. Level to level. I never slow down. I never slow down. I never slow down. I never slow down. Start jumping chart, look clean, oh squad out hunting. Fib lines glowing like bricks, I'm punching. Pivot on deck, hit bounce, no fronting. Order block glisten like a hidden work pipe. Tap in, feel the rhythm when the levels look right. Support is a mushroom, power up life. Gap up star mode, now I'm bright as daylight. Trend line steady, I'm up, pop stepping. Candles like Goombas, I pop, repping. Patience on 10, I don't rush the weapon. Entry on the flagpole, profit I'm collecting. Level to level, the challenge is here. Never fear, iron sharpen iron. Shake it on the Richter to the victor, profits and pride of a lion. Gotta take it level to level, level to level. Several will test my metal, but the pedal won't let up when I focus on level to level. Level to level. I dropped in, not sure what to expect. I can't control the uncontrollable. Look out, the enemy lurks in the shadow of Rex, protecting the target, guarding the profit. But I was trained up, stoic, unemotional. Fear is a phase, but focus is devotional. Step by step, I advance in the ritual. Time in the swing, cause the boss ain't merciful. The walls start closing, the spikes get near. But clarity whisper, you belong right here. Every red candle swinging like it wanna interfere. I brace with the plan that I swore to revere. Golden sight, torchlight on the stone. A fight to the finish, but I stand full grown. Read the map, trust the path, never go alone. Master the chaos till the trend is my throne. Level to level, the challenge is here. Never fear, iron sharpen iron. Level to level, the shake it on the Richter to the victor, profits and pride of a lion. Gotta take it level to level, level to level. Several will test my metal, but the pedal won't let up. When I focus on level to level. Rise up the pixels, align the mission, ignite. Every setback turn data, now my vision inside. Hear the chant in the distance growing louder with my level to level. Broken blocks from the battle, from the steps to ascend. Every scar from resistance is the mark of a friend. Motion 10 in my back, this ain't luck, this is trend. I'm prepared, I'm aware, now it's time to transcend. With the sun unlocked, dungeon cleared, new confidence stocked. Market might swing, but my mindset locked. I trade with intention, not fear or shock. Golden path glowing like a runway flight. Signals hit clean when your prep game tight. Every breakout feel like a skyward height. I glide past out like a Cape Feather Knight. Support got my back, resistance falls down. Trend in my favor as I run this town. Badge of discipline stitched on my crown. Level to level. I never slow down. I never slow down. I swing, but my mindset locked. I trade with intention, not fear or shock. Golden path glowing like a runway flight. Signals hit clean when your prep game tight. Every breakout feel like a skyward height. I glide past doubt like a cape feather knight. Support got my back, resistance slows down. Trend in my favor as I run this town. Badge of discipline stitched on my crown. Level to level. I never slow down. I never slow down. I never slow down. I never slow down. Coins in the air when the bells start jumping. Chart look clean, oh squad out hunting. Fib lines glowing like bricks, I'm punching. Pivot on deck, hit bounce, no fronting. Order block glisten like a hidden work pipe. Tapped in, feel the rhythm when the Hold up, why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is.
Is there more soldiers on the other side of that EMA? Did they go pick up new soldiers? Because, you know, now that it's weak, to kind of give y'all a little background, right? I love trading. I've done trading for a long period of time, and oh, come on, 4:30. Come on. Let's go. Hey, what's going on? Good morning, and all that good stuff. Got quite a bit of stuff that I want to cover for y'all. Excuse me. And been working on quite a bit of projects along the way. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. That way you let your friends and family know that I drop some gems for each and every one of y'all. Psych level, this is good. This is done. Let me get my orb done. All right, so let's go ahead and take a peek at NQ and everything that's going on over on that side. Actually, let's turn off my trend line so that way I don't have to see all that noise. Psychological level can stay there. Let's come down to the 15-minute because we're going to focus on the opening range. Oh, we are trying to use that as a base. Look at that block right there. They are really trying to push that bad boy up. Actually, let's get rid of old drawings. I got some old drawings in here. You got to go. Bye-bye. All right. Got that. All right. So London I already did. Let's do the rest of the world, which is New York. Right there. And go from there. So today I'm probably going to be talking a lot about all types of different things today. One of the biggest things, I just did a class on order blocks. Look out for the video. It's going to be coming out very, very soon. Just go ahead and click down. There's a link below directly to my free Discord. That way you can get a lot of this information over to you. Very, very, very interesting things going on over there. I think we're at like 67% success rate over there. And we try to keep that number up there. And I get it. You want to hear, oh, it's 100% and everything else. Listen, if you find somebody that says that they do 100% on their trades, I could also tell you that you found yourself a liar. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. All right? Let's go ahead and get right to it. We're probably going to run through some tickers at the same time as I analyze what's going on over here with NQ. Looking like we are really trying to beat that bad boy up. Actually, let me keep this unlocked. And let's go run through some of these. What did I have done so far? Excuse me. Fighting a cold. All right. Let's talk about Apple. And that's probably why NQ is struggling at where it is right now. Apple has been giving everything away. Coming up to a 4 hour, you'll probably get a little bit of a sense on what's been going on. And I was kind of talking to my class earlier, and we was talking about institutions and smart money, but I think a lot of the money came out, and we're back in the 250. So could smart money be really here because they know it's going to go even lower? Very possible. But for now, I'm going to look at it as if the smart money is over there, because I think we could build a base here and then kind of create that sense of a reversal. What else do I have for y'all? That's Apple. Like this is going to be this area is going to be tough for them to break. That's why I kind of targeted 250 on one of the trades that I had, and just going to sit back and relax and see where it goes from there. All right, so earnings is coming. Could they be dropping it for earnings just to pop it up for earnings? Going to be very interesting. I wonder what these numbers are going to be, especially having such a crazy year over in 2025. What else I got? I got Intel gap down. So Intel, with all the semiconductor wars and AI and everything under the sun, I was looking for Intel to kind of just really continue to the upside, especially that we're trying to get more mainstay as far as who's going to be developing our chips over here in America. And Intel's a good one to kind of roll with, I would say, because what Intel would then bring for you is American-made semiconductors. Now, are they the best at it? That's debatable, and I don't even want to go down that conversation because, again, we did outsource our work for decades, to say the least. So we're going to go ahead and see what happens there, because if we can get Intel to hold this $50, 51, 52, I would not be surprised that we get back into 2021 levels. That would be crazy, because if you don't know the story about Intel, this thing has been getting beat up for a while. Another one I'm kind of keeping my eye on is DraftKings, DKNG. This one I'm looking for it to kind of collapse a little bit, come down to about $25. It probably could spring right back up, but it might be the earnings that's going to give it the catalyst to kind of go down there. But we'll see. Just got to take a lot of patience here. If we look at it as a whole with the daily, it's been fighting to keep this fair value gap, and a lot of buyers are living right here. It could be because of this whole entire block. I am targeting here first, but we'll see what happens when we get close to that number. All right, looks like a lot of stuff is happening over at NQ. Let's get back over to NQ real quick. All right, that's that. And that's that. Yeah, they still trying to push this thing down. Let me go ahead and readjust this here. There we go. And let's see what happens. Let's pause for a second. Forgot to put my theme song going up at the same time, but yeah, you could see this, right? Look at what it's doing right now. It is having a little bit of a fist fight, trying to see if we can use this order block. Now, what was this order block built on? I guess I could give y'all a nice little quick lesson on order blocks. Actually, let me get this off my other charts. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. All right, that way I can see what y'all see. Let's get rid of this. And that dollar is getting its butt whipped. Oh man, let me show you what's going on with the dollar. Look at this. They are just beating up the dollar. They refuse to let this thing take off to the upside. We started to make a bit of a golden cross up here, especially right here, and then this is one of my major trend lines. And this thing was really trying to hold up, and they are not letting it get above there. They're just beating up the dollar. So this is going to be very interesting to see, because we're starting to get into a wider state here. So I'm very curious on what the dollar does in the near future, because when we reset our markets, it's usually after we get into this area. If y'all remember, this is pretty much what started our whole entire 2025 move. As the dollar dropped, we've been rallying on all the markets. The dollar drops, the market rallies. And when we had a major pop-up of the dollar, this was like Ukraine war and everything else. So this is how you get one of those instances here. So I thought we was going to get a nice little recovery, get a little bit of reset. But the market's like, nah, we are not resetting anything. So keep that in mind. Let's get back over to NQ. Who's messaging me? Alright, that's that, and that's that. That's that. Alright. That looks really, really good. We're about 6 minutes away from establishing our opening range. And pretty much the Asian and the London session has been sitting inside of this area too. So it's going to be very fun to see what they do with this block. Right now, we're starting to really neutralize this order block. And it's not really holding up the way it should. And the question is, can we get back up above? Oh, I didn't put you over here. Hold on. I got another order block here that I'm keeping an eye on. Let me send that over to y'all. I got an order block right there. And I think they're trying to get up into there. So if we get a nice little base here, I won't be surprised we get all that sell side liquidity and push right back up. But I think if we really push down and get past this level, where's Trump? This is Trump Greenland announcement. If we start to fill this, we should see the US dollar strengthen up and put some real pressure. Actually, let's take a peek over at British pound. I want to see what's going on. Oh, yeah, that British pound is going crazy. Look at that. So I was looking for the British pound to really suffer in itself. But again, with debates going on about currency changes as far as the currency reserve, conversations going in that the U.S. is weak and, you know, lots of debt and everything else. And China is over here working on BRICS. Like, there's so much conversations being tossed around by conspiracy theorists and everything else, and that could play a major factor here. But you can see with the British pound strengthening, this will put pressure on the dollar because investors are going to go ahead and get a lot more of the British pound in the reserves versus the US dollar. Another one that y'all want to keep an eye out is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is under the 90,000. I know. You're like, well, this thing looks like a bear flag. It's probably going to go down lower and everything else. But if you do proper charting, you can kind of see. Let me get rid of this VWAP right there. And we'll see what can happen here. If we get another bounce off this 82 level, this thing could go ahead and give us a nice little springboard up to the upside. Oh man, they are texting me. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me solve that. I'm gonna give y'all back in queue. We'll see what this looks like, and give me like about a minute or so. No.
unpredictable time in the swing, cause the boss ain't merciful. The walls start closing, the spikes get near, but clarity whisper you belong right here. Every red candle swinging like it wanna interfere. I brace with the plan that I swore to revere. Goal in sight, torchlight on the stone. A fight to the finish, but I stand full grown. Read the map, trust the path, never go alone. Master the chaos till the trend is my throne. Level to level, the challenge is here. Never fear, iron sharpens iron.
All right, so looks like we got ourselves an establishment of our opening range. So let's go ahead and lock this down and see what happens from there. Looks like I got an alert that came in for J&J. Let me see what's going on here before I bring it over to y'all. J&J, what are they asking for? Let's see. J&J, a firm just came through. Level to level. So we got J&J calls. Let's see how cute this thing looks. Okay, so we got a nice little sweep of liquidity here. Let's see if we can get ourselves a nice little setup like this, and I'll bring it to y'all in a bit. Alright, so that's J&J, and then Affirm.
Don't you need confirm?
Oh, Affirm is going right into an order block. I don't know if I like this one in itself. This might be tough for that to actually pan out. Alright, so let's take a quick look. So we got J&J. That was the first one. This one is the first 15 minutes on it. This one is going to have to be like a recapture of the wick, and let's see if we can, because we need an entry on the 15-minute at 220. So let's go ahead and make a note of that. Look for an entry level above 220, and then our first target is going to be 222. To be safe, I would say go with some 225 contracts that expires today, and that should give you what you're looking for. And yeah, that should be fun. Whoa, is it? Hold on. Whoa. Okay, J&J, it's at all-time highs. I don't know why I got that line there for. All right, so be very careful with that. They could come for the 225, but you can see on the daily they sold this off. You're gonna have to play this as a wick recapture, like we're trying to get back here. Let me go ahead and make a notation on this. Get that out the way and turn off my. I was gonna go on Instagram. Turn off my live. That can go away. Let me go back over to NQ. Y'all can watch that while we wait. I won't be surprised we consolidate today. I find that very interesting of a way for the market to probably react to all of this. All right. So I'm thinking J&J going long. This is going to be a day trade, so we're going to try to keep that for about 2 hours. This is continuation, looking for an entry price above. Oh, I thought I had J&J on this side. Looking for an entry above 220 and 20 cents. Stop loss at 219.02. Target, I would say 225. That would be great if we could get there. But 222.20 and then 225.19. Those are the areas that we're going to be looking for. I would say go with today's. Like, this is going to be a day trade because we're doing it on a 15-minute. So yeah, so let's do 123, 2026, and 225 calls. That's what we're going to be looking at. All right. Range placed today should hold us when the entry level is established. So please wait for the entry, especially that this is all-time highs that we're toying with. And I think that there's going to be a lot of selling pressure that is here in this wick here. And that's the one that we could be liquidating, especially that they liquidated all those that were here. So this is going to be very interesting. Yeah, party just started here. Let's see what the 30-minute looks like. 30 minutes look like it's struggling already. So that's going to confirm our entry is failing. But I need a crossed here. And we're already bullish on this side. Let's go to 2 hour. Oh, even that looks a little shaky. Get a nice entry there. That's going to go ahead and reestablish. So if the 2 hour holds here, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a fiduciary. Just want to make that clear. I can almost believe, I won't guarantee nothing, that this 220 will hold, and we're going to go touch 220 to at least 90% of that. So looking for that type of strong move to happen over there. Yeah, that would be really key. Let's see what the 4 hour is doing. 4 hour looks a little tired of playing to the downside. The daily looks like it's still in a bullish state. Earnings, they missed it by barely. So this could be just institutions just getting into that position, because you already know healthcare does not fail. All right, let's go ahead and come right on back out. Let's see how this goes. That's our 5 minute. They got the close below, and we got like 9 minutes until this 15-minute candle closes. So yeah, that's what we're looking for. Let me go ahead and copy this. Oops. Gonna send it to Discord. All right. That looks good. Let me go ahead and take a nice little screenshot of this so I can send it over to the Discord. If you want a link to the Discord, this Discord link is right down below. That way you can go ahead and capture the free game. Send that out. Bang, bang. All right, so that went out. Let's go check out that Affirm one. Got 7 minutes, and we'll come back and check this again. Now, Affirm, I already sent you global. Yeah, all right, cool. So, Affirm over here, we're looking for that, but again, this is going to be very choppy. Look at all of this, just very similarly to what J&J is, except it's clear skies after the wicks, right? But then there's a whole entire order block sitting right here at $70, so you'll be closing below here just to get. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. We ain't going to do that one. But if you were going to be a little risky, aim for a $70 contract, and you want to see if it can shoot past this level. It looks like it can, because this is like a fair value gap, but they're going to toy with that. Look at that. Look at what they're doing. They're already pushing this all over the place. Yeah, not liking it. Not going to post that. We're going to go ahead and keep this moving. Oh, look at NQ still playing diddle diddle in the middle. Every time it comes here, they just reload for that order block. Every time. Every time. We'll see if they can hold that. We got 6 minutes left. Let's see if there's anything else that came through. Did I actually open Spotify? I do not want that open. Let's see. Do I have anything in swing trades? Because that's tickers. To kind of give you a little premise on how my mind works and how this relatively works as well. For example, there was something that happened when the video was a bit of a short, right? And when it happened, it looked really, really good. Let me pull a 30-minute video and kind of point this out to y'all. Right, so when we kind of pushed, and this was for my last class, when we kind of did that, that was, when was the short announced? The short was announced at 3 o'clock, roughly around 3 o'clock here. And guess what that 3 o'clock did? That 3 o'clock pushed down, and then we gapped down to here. So the next morning at 9:30, you can see that thing went ahead and shot all the way down. Now, funny thing about it, for example, most people will probably look at this like, well, if this thing is going to be shorted at this point, well, actually, I'm on the wrong date. There we go. What is it? Today is Friday. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So we were looking for the short over here, and if it was going to short, it has to close this entry. If I ever tell y'all anything, this is a perfect example of that. It closed the entry, then the end of the day, it does this. That is not your friend anymore, right? Because what they're doing, they're kind of like trapping price, and you can see this happens very frequent. That's why there's not a lot of times I carry anything overnight. I try to get this to happen that same day, especially if I'm talking about something under the 2 hour or anything, because my contracts, I don't have enough time on my contracts to kind of alleviate for any missteps or whatever. So whenever you see anything from my end, or anytime somebody gives you a signal and it doesn't stay below the entry after the post, yeah, this is not a good sign. And you can see this is the results that they get. They just trapped all the bears and used them as fodder to push them right back up. Always keep that in mind. What else I have in here? Swing trades. Let's see what swing trades has. Oxy. All right. Let's check out Occidental. Occidental, 2 hour. See if we can find something fun here. Okay. Okay. Guess we was in this downtrend. Oh, okay. So that's why. So we kind of overshot the entry. But the funny thing about it, the gap up came back to the entry. So you might have some time to get into this one. We got 3 minutes, so let me speed this up. All right. So this is one that when you're taking a trade and you're trying to understand what's going on, the entry was based on what happened here. Great sweep of liquidity when it was all said and done off of this move down here, assuming that institutions are down here, and then they came back. They probably reloaded here and gave it another gap up because they're just going to buy as much oxy based on the oil trade. And this is just giving you an extra confirmation in that. Are we in the middle? Yeah, we are. But I would say with a $47 contract, if anything, go light just in case it comes back to 43 again. But this would be a good trade. Actually, I might go ahead and check out my own. Let's go to Robinhood. Hood. Level to level. The shadows is here. Level to level. Look at my DraftKings is doing well. So let's go Oxy. Let me see what type of contracts I could mess with. Try to find something with some good open interest here. I would say the $45 one would probably be the one that I would be aiming for. I want to say go for March. I want to say go for March. Let me come to the 2 hour. Oh, yeah. $45 March. Let's go with that one. I want that fair value gap. I want to get there. I think if we get past here, all these supporters, plus the fact our stop loss is here, just in case they try to liquidate. Yeah, let's go with $45 March. Let's see what that looks like. I'm try to keep the price low for y'all. $45 March is going for $203. $50 March is going for, yeah, that's what we're going to roll with. That is what we're going to roll with. Let's get some Oxy. All right. Oxy, long, looking for some swings. Continuation-ish. Yeah, continuation. Right. Entry $43.80. Oh, you know what? Let me get my butt inside of this trade because this thing looks like it's going to do all types of funny stuff. Let me go ahead and get... I'm going to get the... The funny thing about the $45 one, we're knocking at the door. The $50 one is better, or $47.50, but the open interest on the 45 is so much better. I want to say, I might just double up on the 50. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with the 50. 50 it is. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. Stop loss is 43.18. Target price 44.83. That's the TP1. And then 46.39. That's the TP2. We're gonna go with March 2026. And that strike price is $50. Can you go further? Yeah, you can go further. Can you go closer? Yeah, you can go closer. Looking to fill a 2-hour FVG. Could retrace to entry, so start light before it hits TP1. Entry over after TP1. Yeah, something like that. All right, let me go ahead and send that over to the crew. Iron sharpen iron. All right, we got like 30 more minutes in power hour, so we're gonna have some fun with this. All right, there we go. Got that logged in. Focus on level to level. Giving out all the free game. That's what we're doing. And again, it's all about entries, folks. Right? You just make sure your entry is on point, so that way you don't run your head into a buzzsaw. Okay. Oh, something just alerted over in scalps. I hope it's not what I think it is. It might be. Because that thing was very risky in itself. All right here. Level to level to that. Just here, fear iron, shine iron. Break to the victim. Iron. Level to level. I know you see it pulling back, right? There was a reason. I want 2 contracts. I took one in case I am right and this thing runs away. At least I have exposure. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna get another one here, and my stop loss is here. My dollar cost average should be around 44 without me being exposed to waiting and thinking and all that good stuff that can really make you miss your trade, and you be like, oh man, I missed my entry. All right, so yeah, that's what it is. All right, let's see what's going on over there. Let me put NQ back over here and see what's going on there. Oh, they are coming for that block. Look at that. Look at that bad boy right there. As I was telling you, they were reloading at that order block, and they did not care who was there. They really didn't. I'm telling you, y'all can't. I can't wait till I finish the edits on this video. You're gonna love the order block video. It's gonna tell you a lot that these freaking gurus and everybody else won't talk about as far as order blocks, because they don't put rules. They just put feelings, and this thing was very critical. So I'm looking for them to have a strong rejection here. Looks like they're struggling to do so. They're eating up the liquidity here. We got psychological level up here. That's probably what we're going to aim for. 4,900 points. Yeah, they just accumulated that. Looks like a W right here in that center pivot. Looking for it to kind of sell off when it gets to that top area. The US dollar is still falling, so I don't think that, playing a reversal is going to be long and strong. But I do anticipate some type of rejection when we get close to that area. All right, let me go pull Etsy on another chart while I wait and watch. All right, so that was 10 o'clock's candle that did that, right? Yeah, that was 10 o'clock's candle. Are they strong enough? Probably not. Level to level. So I'm gonna have to wait on trying to play anything to the downside here. If I wanted to be very risky, I could do it with the 5-minute, but you can see this is just bullish, and in the 15-minute, they're just waiting for retracement to try to take on some more. So I'm gonna be patient with this. Yeah, I'm gonna be real patient with this. All right, we'll be back on that. Let me go back to Etsy. That's all I was doing. This was a 15-minute quick little scalp. All right, so we've swept liquidity once, and they're trying to really sweep that liquidity. There's going to be a high risk one because the margins isn't great, and I'm pretty sure the option contracts aren't as great either for scalps. Sometimes they're better on swings than scalps because it doesn't have a lot of volume. Let's see what this looks like. I'm looking at $65 calls. They're like 14 cents, but that open interest for today is like 517. And then we gotta wait for an entry to happen. Something like that. Oh, where are you? Need you to get there. Not a lot of price action here, but you can see we are bullish here. We're trying to stay bullish there. Kind of tight here, so there's not really some strong level of liquidity like fair value gap or anything or imbalance. Could be accumulation versus accumulation. Oh yeah, and this is, yeah, there could be retracement just for them to drop it some more. So yeah, don't like the trade. Going to go ahead and keep it moving, and let's get ourselves back over there in Q. Level to level. All right. Look like they're doing the rejection already. Let's see if there's some spot for us in here. Let's see what the 1 minute is doing. They look like they're finally putting in a green candle here, but we are in an opening range breakout, so this is very dangerous. It is a counter trend trade, but I just want to do a quick scalp to the downside and probably place a reversal when it's all said and done. After it does that, let's see if I can get that here. All right, we're gonna take a shot here, see what happens. Seeing how much strength left in this bearish order block in itself. All right, they got a little bit there. They're trying to buy it back up quicker than expected. I was thinking we could take out this wick here on this green candle, but it looks like it's not going to happen. May close at break even. All right, let's come up to a 5 minute. Let's see what's happening here. Got a little bit of a cross there, giving me a little bit of confidence, but they are toying with it. Is this a bearish order block or not? Are you that one? Nope, it's not. I hit my break even. I am out of that. Get my iron, sharpen iron. Let me go back to the 1 minute and see what's happening here. I want to see, does this area reject strongly? That's a second green candle. Give it another try here. Let's see what happens. Level to level. All right, let's see if they sweep that low. Did not sweep the low. Hit my break even. I'm out of it. Looking for possible reversal of anything. Yeah, something just popped in my alert. I'm gonna go check that out in a little bit. All right, last shot. Giving it to the downside. Let's see what happens. If here's my break even, I'm gonna hit the reversal and play into the upside. Small profits. All right, they're toying with it. All right, looking okay for right now, but we're not breaking that level. Starting to open up that 1 minute. Let's see if this holds. Let's come up to a 5 minute. Assuming this is like a star position and we make an evening star type of action, we'll come down. Looking for that to happen. If that doesn't happen, then the reversal will kick in for me. Especially at the psychological level of 700. Okay. Come on. I want to see if the star action fails, because if the star action fails, then I might reverse earlier. Basically, I'm waiting for a red candle to be the evening to the star. Because this has been a very bearish area for this area here. Alright, if it fails to get this bottom low, okay, perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. There we go. Alright, that was a good one. Looking forward to retest the area. Look like they're still trying to drift for more lows. Still kind of reddish. We might close under there. I thought we could close inside of it. Okay, we are. Are we closing inside of it? 10 seconds. Okay, we are closing inside of it. That's what I was looking for the close inside of it. All right, let's see if we can sweep back the sell side liquidity, because I was part of it and I was one of them that got out of the position. Let's put that stop a little tighter. Let's get an explosion back up. Ah, that's funny. And we got ourselves the sell side liquidity. Perfect. All right, and I'm out of there. All right, so that was fun. Let me go check out this alert. So Etsy. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Look at this Etsy. Yeah, that's what I said. It just does not look good on the higher time frames. Just because I get a signal saying it looks like it's all right, but I don't like that daily. I didn't like that 4 hour. I didn't like its face. I didn't like nothing of it. Let's just leave that one alone. And we did, and it's triggering saying the trade is already over. So this thing is completely omitted. We're gonna leave that one alone. All right, let's get back over to NQ. Let's see what else we got over there. All right, they still want to try to reject that. We're gonna see if that happens. And then swing trades. Let's see if anything came in. There was something that came in for Riot. I want to just talk about Riot just because of crypto. Riot Platforms was one of the ones that kind of was in that space, kind of like MSTR. They have fell off a cliff quite a bit. Let me come to a 2-day. Fell off a cliff quite a bit. So I've just been eyeballing it just in case something does pop off. On the 2 hours, something happened. Let's see. I guess we probably swept liquidity. We had a nice little uptrend, swept the liquidity, and now it's pushing down. I think that's probably what it was triggering. We should be done with the trade, because if I was looking to short this based on that parameter, it'll be something that look a little like this, and we're getting to that TP1. And y'all know me, we take the TP1 and we just move on to the next part. That's how we operate. All right, so more consolidation. Let's get back over to NQ. That way we could get another scalp if anything. Oh, look at that. They got out of that really quick. What does this mean? It's almost like they're trying to create a base here to get the sell side liquidity, and they're struggling to do so. I almost want to short it back down from here, assuming that this whole entire thing is a sell in pressure. Ah, look at that. It's already doing it. Because I almost wanted to. Very tricky, because I need this 5 minutes to follow through with it. But then that can build a bull flag, and then that can take off, especially with the 1 minute. See that? But I got the weight of a psychological level, got a weight of an order block, got all that kind of in my favor. Look at you. I want to take a shot. Let's take a shot. I want to see what happens. I think we're going to get out of the block again, because I think this was all new buyers and they kind of got scared out. Let's see if we can get a follow through candle from here and push down some more. If not, I'll risk part of my profits that I got just to kind of get a sense of what are they capable of doing. All right, so they're going to try to use that outside of the block as a rejection again. How I'm looking at it, this is very neutral, and I find this very bullish. And if they want that level, they're going to have to come back and reload at the gas station, which is that bullish area. Or they'll be like, hey, we brought you enough fuel. We got some people that's here, and this is the gas station they're going to refuel at. And then they're going to use that to bear the bull flag right on push out. That's very possible. Yeah, they're really trying to hold this level. We just made another 5-minute red candle. We just made another lower low here. That is our London center pivot. They're probably going to use that as a spring. Yeah, damn it! I can't talk fast enough. Use that center pivot as a springboard. Probably going to reload here. Just going to have to, weather the storm here and see if we got enough weight on the sell side to push through it. We don't. We don't. I had some good green, and I guess I should have took the green there. Yeah. Gonna fight with this. What's that? 22 seconds more. Come on. Yeah, yeah. I did not process that fast enough. Look at this. Look at this. That probably would have been a good reversal point. Oh, come on. Come on. Straight kidnapped on that one. Yep. They got me. They got me. I'm gonna have to pick a price that I feel comfortable with. That's a big ding that they just did on my account. Kind of grab the sell side liquidity, using that base as a place. I'm gonna start looking at these as order blocks too. These opening ranges. London sessions probably putting the weight on this than I expected. Find a spot that I can get myself out of here in this chaos. I think this is not too bad of a spot. See if they got their target and they're done with it. Maybe retrace down to 700 and I could get off the train. See if we can get down like 12 points and then I can get off this elevator. Probably not. This thing looks like it's really sweeping that liquidity. Question is, did they sweep the liquidity to pick up the sellers, or did they sweep the liquidity because the sellers are giving up? And that's going to be very interesting here. They almost passed my block. Yeah, they almost passed my block. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. They're going to test 750 with this momentum. And I wanted to wait for 750's test first. Yeah. This is a debacle. It's fine. Boo. Alright, so that's 750. Looking for a rejection point off of here as people take their profits here. See what happens. Level to level, level to level. That's why I metal, but the pedal won't let up. When I go, it's on level to level. Looks like we're not going to reject the 750. Almost did. Kind of put on 1 minute evening start here. The US dollar dropping is not helping any type of reversals on this, so it's probably going to just keep on powering through for the day until they find a level that they feel comfortable with. 7 seconds. 1 minute looks okay. All right, let's see what type of order block that they have left. Because now they're coming for a fair value gap that I had from here from like a while back.
Happen with people with red and red dye to create a rich purple. The new trench will loosen if you need to maybe olive saving money for.
This is kind of crazy that they're holding this level the way that they are, but I guess a lot of that bullish momentum, especially for a Friday, it looks like it's really taking over what would have been a normal sell-off day on a Friday. So very interested on how this action is happening. Just gotta see what happens here.
A strong curve. Max used a ticket to discount coin.
Like we got a 5 minute wick right above the 750. You would think that this thing would just, completely collapse on itself, and then we probably get a 5 minute evening star, especially with there's been some profit taken. But you can kind of see that they're dancing with it, trying to force this up. Depending on what the momentum is going to be in the next 2 minutes and 17 seconds will determine how this is going to pan out, at least probably for the rest of this cycle in this range. Yeah, you see where they're buying the dip again.
Caleb, why are you laying down on the floor? If you're tired, go sleep inside the bedroom.
Yeah, they're just toying around with it over and over again as they're trying to get sell side liquidity. And you can see tired here, but if we go to 15 minute, they're trying to make this the new fair value gap here, even though we got ourselves a strong rejection here, and that's what I was looking at. But that's how the game goes. See, they just swept the liquidity. Let's go check out the free game stuff while we wait here. Let's see. J&J, let's check that out. Alright, so it's not giving us the entry, and they are pulling it deeper down. And part of me thinks the more tech pushes, things like this suffers. Oxy kind of got that pullback that I was looking for. Oh, there goes J&J letting me know trade is dead. massive rejection here, especially after the fact that the 15-minute doing what they did. Let's see what they could be looking for. Let's look at the 2-hour. Yeah, they might run for the next 2 hours and continue to push up. Let's see what else could we be looking for. So I already said fair value gap. Did we touch the center? We didn't touch the center yet. I'm gonna look for this thing to get to the center pivot first. Probably should have stuck with the reversal to the upside when they kind of made that move. But this did look like they were gonna go in and fail that, even though, and that was the risk, right? Here's your bull flag, got the breakout, and you're gonna see if they could get that extension out there. But if it failed, we would have swept all this liquidity here. Oh, it's already 10:30. It is past power hour. All right, let me tap out of here. I want to say thank you very much for chiming in with your boy. I'm going to look to do this more often. I got a couple other pop-ups I'm going to be doing. It's going to be like 15 minutes long towards the afternoon. See where we are. And then the one that's at the end of the day is going to be power hour. It's going to be an hour around 3 o'clock. So look forward to that. I bid you fun farewell, and we'll catch up tomorrow. You have a great day.
battles from the steps to ascend. Every scar from resistance is the mark of a friend. Motion Tam and my back, this ain't luck, this is trend. I'm prepared, I'm aware, now it's time to transcend. Back on the map with the sun unlocked, dungeon cleared, new confidence stocked. Market might swing, but my mindset locked. I trade with intention, not fear or shy.